Hi everyone, Craig Griffin here, and today's topic is accelerating digitalisation, which is one of the 7 themes presented in our book, 7 Ways in which COVID-19 will shape the future of brands. Now, of course, during this time we've all had to do more things online, whether this be buying our groceries from the supermarket or perhaps ordering meals from our favourite restaurants, or even socialising using Zoom to keep in touch with our family and friends. But the question is, of course, will these behaviours stick? Now, some people argue that we will go back to our old habits, but we have to remember that with social distancing measures in place and temperature checks as we go into stores and other measures, they all remind us of the possibility of catching the virus. So we're not really experiencing perhaps the carefree leisure experiences when we go out that we did in a pre-COVID time. But it's not just about people and their habits, it's about how businesses have adapted and invested during this time. Now, as we went into lockdown, businesses were forced to innovate to continue to operate their businesses. So we saw, for example, estate agents offering online viewings, we saw virtual car showrooms being developed. But the investment in digitalisation that's happening at the moment, it's not just about continuity, it's about investing to be future-proof, to be resilient for whatever the future throws up. And we're clearly going to face very challenging economic times ahead. And these investments in digital channels are helping businesses to, in many cases, reduce their fixed costs. So perhaps reduce the investment in real estate and drive more traffic through to digital channels. And of course, for new businesses, the tendency is to very much think digital first. There is an emerging consensus that these push and pull factors are accelerating digitalisation. And indeed, McKinsey have said that we've vaulted 5 years forward during this period in lockdown. Now, to see how far we can go with online channels, it's really interesting to study the online marketplaces and how they've evolved in the last few years. And we see now that many are using a variety of gamification approaches to try to replicate the sense of fun and discovery and adventure that we usually experiencing when shopping by traditional means. But we've got to remember, of course, that going shopping meets a variety of different needs, not just the very functional buying of goods and services, but our needs for escape, for entertainment, for relaxation, and for connection with others. Indeed, for many of us living in Asia, shopping is a social activity, something that we do with our friends and family. And this is why, despite improving digital experiences via the online marketplaces, they're only going to be able to replace some of our shopping occasions. So what are the implications for brands? Well, firstly, for brands operating across multiple channels, which of course most do these days, it's very important to be clear about what needs a specific channel is meeting for a shopper, so that you can adapt the presentation of your brand and your offer to those specific channels. And secondly, accelerating digital adoption is now changing the way in which people are experiencing your brand. And it's really important for brand managers to keep track of this, to understand how their brand has been experienced, and to adapt different strategies by different channels, because it's not just the paid and the owned experiences that you can control fully, but it's all the other earned experiences where you have less control, and these also need clear strategies to make sure your brand is presented in the best possible way. So this theme was accelerating digitalisation, which is one of the 7 themes in our book, 7 Ways in which COVID-19 will shape the future of brands, which is available via our website, or please click below.